Luffy causing chaos, theories confirmed, new connections, and the sun god appearing. Chapter 1128 is here, packed with mystery and fun. Let's dive in and analyze everything this chapter brought us. Ready? Let's get started, right after the intro. Twists. Chapter 1128 of One Piece follows the classic One Piece style with hilarious interactions among the East Blue group, the original 5 members. Chopper is finally found, completing the crew that will soon appear on Netflix. Oda, I see what you're doing. This entertaining chapter kicks off with a killer observation turned into a joke. Picking up from where chapter 1127 left off, we see Sanji, dressed like a knightly prince, holding Nami in his arms. However, he quickly concludes, "I can't be in a dream. There are too many men here." Meanwhile, Nami asks what kind of dreams Sanji's been having. Zoro wakes up to find a lunatic beating up a rabbit, obviously referring to his captain. But the most interesting part at the start of the chapter is Luffy puffing out his chest and scolding Usopp, telling him it's about time he was able to defeat that lion cat at least. Usopp's excuse? He woke up inside the feline's mouth. Could this be a hint that Usopp is in line for a power-up in the Elbaf arc? I hope Oda isn't just playing with our expectations. He loves doing that. But I really do think Usopp will get a major upgrade in Elbaf. We also get some observations. Usopp points out that they must already be in Elbaf since their clothes resemble those worn by giants. Nami wonders if they've somehow been giantified. She also notices some things seem fake, like a tree she touches. Another observation from Nami, she can't feel any wind here. Zoro suggests they talk to one of the locals to be sure. Sanji, meanwhile, jokes that the other Straw Hats must not be around since his Robin radar isn't picking anything up. Luffy, on the other hand, is just excited about the adventure ahead. And in the expanded panel on the second page of the chapter, we get serious Wizard of Oz vibes. In fact, Oda may be blending several different tales here. Then, a bearded man of average height appears, riding a grasshopper-like motorcycle, asking if they're new around here. Nami and Sanji quickly back away. Neither of them are fans of bugs. Good thing Bonnie isn't around, or she'd probably faint. Luffy, of course, starts bombarding the old man with questions, but he says he's too busy to answer. However, he does share a bit about the place. He mentions the Temple of the Sun God and says he's a servant of the great Iskat, the one who rules the castle. Luffy asks if someone lives in the castle, and the man says the great god Iskat is a cat. Yes, the same cat they beat up in the previous chapter. Luffy even tries to apologize for hitting the cat god, but Usopp quickly interrupts, thinking it's best not to mention it. The other Straw Hats pretend they know nothing about it. The old man says he arrived too late to see what happened, but someone burned the great god's ear, and now he needs to find the great hedgehog god. Yes, the one Nami electrocuted. To sum it up, the Straw Hats have already knocked out 3 of this place's gods. The man tells them that if they're hungry, they can find food in the town square. In the English version, it's referred to as food rations. But under no circumstances should they head toward the temple on the opposite side of the castle. It's guarded by fearsome protectors, and no one has ever returned alive from there. Naturally, this makes Luffy even more excited, and he runs straight toward the forbidden direction. Funny how he completely ignores the food part, but oh well. Before we move on, this scene brings up parallels to another story Oda may be referencing, Gulliver's Travels. There, we also see a man riding a grasshopper. Another parallel is the giant cat and the bees, which also appear in Gulliver's Travels. This beginning of the arc also reminds me a lot of the start of Skypiea, with a citizen explaining all the laws and restrictions of the place. And of course, there's the connection to Skypiea with the false god. Remember, the legend of Nika comes from Elbaf, and someone seems to be impersonating him. After heading straight into danger, not just Luffy, but Zoro too is thrilled by the information. Suddenly, Luffy smashes into something. He collided with a reflective, illusory mirror. This mirror was hiding the fact that this kingdom exists inside a cage. It's like a diorama setup. This means that the large tree isn't Yggdrasil, and this place really isn't Elbaf. Luffy's crash breaks the mirror, revealing a gigantic room behind it. Chopper is finally found. He had been collared by someone and is rescued, with Nami reminding him that he owes her one now. Zoro comments on their situation, comparing their outfits to doll's clothes. Another parallel here. In Gulliver's Travels, a giant girl sews human-sized clothes for Gulliver. We even see a sewing machine in this gigantic room. Could the sun god be a giant woman? Could she be the daughter of the king of Elbaf? Then, two more giant animals attack the crew. Many have noticed that these beasts are directly inspired by Norse mythology, the world's serpent Jörmungandr and Odin's ravens. This confirms that Oda will be using a lot of Norse mythology in this arc. Jörmungandr, of course, is known as the Midgard serpent, one of Loki's 3 children. This serpent also reminds us of the giant snakes of Shandora. There may indeed be a connection between the World Tree and Skypiea. Perhaps the snake from Shandora crossed the branches, or something similar. As for the raven, it might be a reference to Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory, who in Norse mythology fly across the world, bringing information to the god. Ravens are also often seen as omens in the myth. Luffy, of course, goes a little overboard and transforms into Gear 5 to punch the serpent. Definitely not necessary, but it's clear Oda loves drawing Luffy in this form. Let the man have his fun. As the chaos erupts in the room, the figure of the sun god finally appears, and wow, what a complex being to describe. Are those high heels? Giving even more credence to the idea that she might be a giant woman, she's definitely massive. Notably, the door the character is entering through seems to form a Z shape. Maybe it's just the wooden pattern, but since Oda highlighted it, who knows? The most striking detail, though, is the deer head mask and the scepter with a sun shape on the end. As the giant opens the door and sees the chaos unfolding, Luffy quickly punches and knocks out the snake. Then the cat Iskat shows up. Poor thing is all bandaged up. The Straw Hats quickly hop onto the cat, despite its protests saying it won't forget this. Oh, and this might explain why Oda left Chopper out of the last chapter, maybe to avoid this interaction with the cat. Luffy then says that if they run across the other side of the room, they might break another mirror and finally escape. The chapter ends with the townspeople in shock, seeing that the sun god is furious and chasing the cat, believing the feline is behind all the chaos. Phew, what a mysterious yet fun chapter. This is one of those chapters where spoilers don't do it justice. The quality jump between the initial spoilers, the summary, and the actual chapter is huge. For me, it's a solid 9 out of 10 chapter. It brings back the golden days of One Piece with loads of fun. That's my take. Did you enjoy the chapter? Let me know in the comments. And remember, there's no break next week, so chapter 1129 info should be coming soon. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Let me know if this works for you.